You're safe. Nothing is happening. No one is attacking you. No emergency. No real danger here at all right now. The room is quiet. The night is completely still. Nothing outside that window is coming toward you right now at all. And yet, your chest is tight. Your thoughts won't slow down. Your body is coiled, already waiting for something. Some part of you is scanning the edges of the room, searching for something you simply cannot name or explain. You tell yourself to relax. Your brain ignores you completely. This isn't weakness. This isn't you being dramatic. It is something far more specific, far older, and far harder to simply think your way through on your very own. And by the end of this, you're going to understand exactly why it happens. With you. With people just like you. You send a message and reread it 3 times, certain something in the phrasing was wrong. Off in some specific way. You parse the reply, the word choices, the punctuation, the absence of punctuation, looking for any real signal. And somewhere between what was written and what you needed to hear, you start building a case against yourself. You lie awake late at night replaying a conversation from months ago. Not because you want to. Your brain decided. Every sentence re-examined. Every silence revisited. Every moment you said something slightly off, filed and archived. You imagine arguments that haven't happened yet. You prepare for rejections that haven't even been offered yet. You build entire futures out of one ambiguous look, a shift in someone's tone, a text that came 2 hours late. And sometimes, on a quiet night, when nothing is actually wrong, you feel the unease more than ever. Even then, because peace, to your nervous system, doesn't feel like safety at all. It feels like the pause before the impact. The calm that always precedes something. You learned, somewhere along the way, to deeply distrust the quiet itself. Here's what no one tells you clearly enough. Your brain was never designed to make you happy. Not once. Never. It was designed to keep you alive. And those 2 things, being happy and staying alive, are not the same thing. Everything your mind does, the spiraling, the scanning, the rehearsing, the catastrophizing, is not actually a flaw. It's a system doing exactly what it was built to do, running inside a world that no longer exists the same way. Your brain runs a calculation every single moment of the day. And that calculation isn't what's most likely here. The calculation is, what is the worst thing that could happen? And how fast can I detect it before it arrives? A false alarm costs you some anxiety. Missing a real threat costs everything. So your brain made that choice for you. It decided overreacting was always safer than being caught off guard. All of that without asking your permission. This isn't a factory defect. It's an optimization. The problem is it optimizes entirely for survival, not for peace. First idea, your brain would rather panic over nothing than be caught completely off guard by something real arriving. Hypervigilance isn't irrational. It's a learned strategy. One formed at some specific point in your personal history. If you grew up in an environment where things could shift without warning, where the mood of a room turned fast, where safety was conditional, where calm often preceded conflict, your brain learned to stay ready at all times. It learned the quiet couldn't be trusted. That strategy made complete sense then. It's simply still running now. Second idea, overthinking isn't a thinking problem at all. It's a genuine safety problem underneath everything. When you replay a conversation obsessively, you're not doing it because you enjoy suffering or punishing yourself. You're doing it because your brain believes that if it reviews enough times, it can extract the hidden threat in time. You're trying to gain control over something that already happened, because that's how the mind learns to feel safe. The exhaustion you feel at the end of that process is real. You've been working. Your brain has been sprinting. Third idea. This is often learned, not inherited. And that changes everything about how you see it in yourself. After real rejection, the kind that changed how you saw yourself, the brain doesn't just grieve. It upgrades the threat detection system. It learns a brand new category of danger, the emotional threat. Now, it isn't just watching for physical harm. It's watching for the specific texture of pain it once felt before. A tone of voice, a particular silence, a pattern in someone's behavior that rhymes with a pattern lived before. It becomes a specialist. And specialists are very good at finding what they're looking for, even when it isn't there. Fourth idea. Much of what you feel as present anxiety is actually memory disguised as genuine urgency right now. Anxiety has a timestamp problem. The feeling carries no date. It arrives as urgency, as now, as completely real. The body doesn't know the difference between a memory of danger and the actual presence of danger. Identical response. So when you feel dread in a quiet room with no visible cause, it probably isn't a premonition at all. It's an echo. Something in the present, a tone, a silence, a smell, activated a memory that still carries full emotional charge. Your nervous system responded before your conscious mind had the chance to stop for 1 second and check the date. Fifth idea. When safety becomes the exception for long enough, you will naturally begin to distrust it completely. If you spent a long time in a situation where peace was always temporary, the good days always somehow borrowed, your brain learned something devastating. Calm isn't the absence of danger. It's just the part where it hasn't arrived. So now, when everything is genuinely fine, the very okayness triggers suspicion. You feel the urge to find what's wrong. Sometimes you find it because you were looking hard enough. Sometimes you invent it for the exact same reason. The problem isn't that your brain is broken. It's that it learned to protect you where peace was never guaranteed. It built walls in a world that required walls. And now you're standing in rooms that no longer need those walls. And they're still up. And they're exhausting you. And absolutely no one handed you the instructions to take them down. You're not anxious because you're weak. Not because you enjoy suffering. Or because something is wrong with who you are. You're anxious because something taught your nervous system that constant attention was, in fact, the price of safety. That if you stopped watching, stopped preparing, rehearsing, scanning, something would slip past. You paid that price. For a very long time. You're still paying it. The cruelest part is you pay it alone, quietly, looking completely fine. You're not too sensitive, not too intense. You're not making it up. You're not exaggerating for effect at all. You're someone whose nervous system learned an interpretation of the world that made sense given what it had to use. The mind that kept you vigilant, prepared, on guard, that mind protected you for real. It did its job completely. You survived. But survival and peace are not the same destination. The strategies for one don't deliver the other. The alarm worked. The emergency is over. The hard part is learning to hear the alarm and know that it's already passed. That the emergency it's remembering isn't the emergency you're in. That is one of the hardest things to learn. Somewhere inside you, there is an alarm that has been ringing for a very long time. Not because you're in danger now. Not because you're broken. Not because your feelings are wrong. Not because anything is fundamentally wrong with you. But because the part of you that learned to ring it never got the news that things had actually and truly changed. No one sat with it and said, "You can rest now. You did enough. What you protected is still here, still standing." Maybe no one ever will. Maybe that's something only you can say to yourself, slowly, imperfectly, on the hard days. The danger wasn't always outside the room. Sometimes it was much closer than that. Much closer than anything outside. Sometimes it was the alarm deep inside you. The one that never learned when it was finally time to stop ringing.